since they are coming from a journey, probably they are not coming from your state. Even if they are coming from your state, they will be stressed. So you need anti-stress. So you use anti-stress with glucose. That's the first thing you administer in their water. Believe me, if you are able to manage the first 2 weeks of your chicken very well, broilers, you are good. Some actually do vaccination, but in order for you to be sure that the vaccination went, and do your vaccination after 1 week or so. When they start picking feed from their litters, there is a disease that we call coxi they are open to hit. At the same time, when you are choosing what to put in their house, that is the sawdust. You don't use the sawdust, you use the wood shaver. The sawdust, when you are putting in, when they pick, it enters their nose. When you see them, when it enters their nose, you see them sneezing. That's when they develop disease that we call CRD. When you're having your pen, if you are doing a fence, it's either you are doing a fence or you have it in a location whereby local chickens, they are not going around, because local chickens go around with maybe a virus like Newcastle. My name is Salahu Abiodun. I'm into broiler farming. When we are taking the day-old chick, it is best transported when the sun is not out. Then they make the journey as fast as possible. So imagine in the carton, when they put the chicken, they are putting them in 50-50 in a carton. So they are to take maybe 2 or 3 hours to your destination. By the end of the day, they are taking 6 hours to your destination. They are already stressed in that carton. If you are taking that kind of chicken, putting them, as a result of that stress, you might see them dying and dying and dying. So at the end of the day, it's not making sense to you. So when you know that your chicken is not meeting up, just return, tell them you are not taking the chicken again. They are responsible for transporting it. So any problem as a result of transportation, delay in the vehicle bringing the chicken, causing delay, it's not our problem. We will return the chicken. When you have provided you have your pen and it's well fumigated, one of the things you need to get is your heating system, heating mechanism, what you are going to use to heat the place. Here we make use of pots, these traditional clay pots. Then we'll put charcoal inside it to produce the heat. Some situations we use there is this gas heater. Use gas heater. You can make use of bulbs, electric bulbs, these yellow bulbs. So far you are generating heat from there. The one we mostly use is the charcoal. So we use this is the pot. We'll put charcoal in this pot. We'll light the charcoal, generate it. So why we don't use coal pot is, there is an hole under the coal pot. The chicken can easily go inside it. So that's why we use this. Yeah, and this is more economical. The charcoal will not go down easily. At their week 1 and week 2, they are prone to cold. They cannot survive in the normal room temperature, so it must be warm. If possible, they should have their brooding pen separately. I have a brooding pen also, where I do the brooding, because this pen house, you see, is big. This pen house can take 2,500 to 3,000 beds. So if I'm bringing in 1,000 beds and I'm brooding it here, before the heat will go around in this pen, I'll be using a lot of resources. It will be consuming a lot of charcoal and the coal pots we are using. So if you have a small brooding house, it is easier. So I'll advise them it's better they have a brooding house. Then they transfer from the brooding house to the main pen. That is one of the things that you need. Then we have starter feeder. You need your starter feeder, then the small drinker. Those are the essential things you need. This is what we call starter feeder. We use it for the chicken at day-old to their 2 weeks before we replace it with the normal feeder. One, red is a color that will attract them to eat. Then they cannot jump up, cannot fly up, so it's easy for them to enter. They will just come inside there and then pick their feet, compared to the other one where they hit better there. And there is since they are coming from a journey, probably they are not coming from your state. Even if they are coming from your state, they will be stressed, so you need anti-stress. You use anti-stress with glucose. That's the first thing you administer in their water. First, let me pick it from sighting. When you are sighting your pen, when you are building your poultry, so one of the things you should put into consideration is direction of the sun. You sight the pen in such a way that the sun will not be penetrating into the poultry, so it will not be affecting the birds. I covered from outside, from inside, well covered. It's because they don't need breeze at week 1, week 2. They don't need the breeze, so we have to cover it. So it's one of the things to put into consideration. but you have to get your vaccination and medication right. So when we're taking the chicken at day 1, first thing we do is give them the anti-stress with the glucose. Believe me, if you are able to manage the first 2 weeks of your chicken very well, broilers, you are good. So when we give them the glucose and the anti-stress, after 1 week we give them the vaccine, that's Lasota. The second week we give them Gumboro. The third week give them Lasota again. So when we vaccinate them, you know, though some actually do vaccination, but in order for you to be sure that the vaccination went, and do your vaccination after 1 week or so. So when you do it, so another thing you have to look into is your biosecurity, because it's very, very essential. The biosecurity, they manage the virus, the coming in and going out. We make provisions for sleepers. When you are going to attend to the pets, you take off the one you are bringing from outside, then you wear that. The same thing what he did to administer to them. So you won't be taking the virus from outside into their house. Then you don't allow people to enter your pen anyhow, most especially other farmers. If you are coming from a farm and coming to your pen, there is tendency of some virus being on their clothes coming to your pen. Since they are airborne, you are risking your birds. Another thing you take mention of, there is no way chicken don't pick from their litters. Birds, they will pick from their litters, so you must make sure the house is not dirty. So when the house is dirty with their litters, you have to pack it, because when they start picking feed from their litters, there is a disease that we call cocci. They are open to it, so you have to be careful with that. At the same time, when you are choosing what to put in their house, that's the sawdust. You don't use the sawdust, you use the wood shaver. So with the wood shaver, it's far better. The sawdust, when you are putting in, when they pick, it enters their nose. When you see them, when it enters their nose, you see them sneezing. That's when they develop disease that we call CRD, chronic respiratory disease. So, and there is no way they don't have this disease, because even their feet, you see powder in their feet, they inhale it. So the moment you start noticing that 1, 2, they are sneezing, use the medication meant for CRD. So you have to be very, very observant. Enter your poultry, walk around, notice their litters. If the litter is okay, if it's not okay, you know what to give to them. And also, when you're having your pen, if you are doing a fence, it's either you are doing a fence or you have it in a location whereby local chickens are not common. They are not going around, because local chickens go around with maybe virus like Newcastle. So when they are airborne, the moment they go around your pen, even they are not entering your pen, since they are airborne, your birds will be affected. So it should be a place where local chickens don't go around.